I just had to start recording because hang on a second. I think it's straight now. So I had to start recording because there were two birds. One that came here with this kind of schwung like this and yellow. Really beautiful birds. And now here's a dragonfly. We have some magical birds here right now and some magical action from Gaia. Gaia is very much present, and it is interesting when we are shifting frequencies like this. So currently we are working a lot with the body, the soul with the body. So we are altering. These are the birds. They're very, very active. I'm not entirely sure what those birds mean. I haven't looked that up. That would be something to look up in holisticmeaning.co. But I'm not sure what they're called. But I would have to see if I can find out what they're called. Beautiful, because one of them was just on the ledge here, looking at me, getting my attention, and then he flew back in its tree, which is this big one here. And then there was one over there, and both of them were getting my attention. They were singing to me. So it's so wonderful to, and this is also the thing. Like these synchronistic moments, from the distorted knower's perspective, the beings that are too much in the intellect, they don't consider this important. And they just consider it, it's just, you're interested in that type of thing. Not getting the fullness of that connection and what it has to do with the human experience. Because we are operating our human body very different from how we did it in the dualistic perspective. It can seem like the same. The beings that are coming to us for these free readings, they will see whatever they want to see, and we can feel where they're at because it stops on the projection that we get. Looks like that. Like sometimes it's like that. Sometimes other energetic blurps happen and that is something that we need to feel and clear. And that's when they come with remedies for that. Sometimes also, we have noticed, I don't know if this is going to be a thing, it's just sometimes there are a few beings that we get drawn to for certain energetic corrections. And sometimes we go a little bit straight and poke at you a little bit. It is loving meant. It is because there is something there to look at. If you pretend, but I didn't do that. Pay attention to that. That's a thing. Like if you go into that, interesting. Why not be, I wonder what that is. You know? And we this is the thing, like our body right now, the way that we're functioning with this body is that we can feel people's distorted workings, the things that are not coming from God. We can feel that as distortions in someone's field. And sometimes we can feel that on chat because it's very obvious. Sometimes it's less obvious. But sometimes that soul is coming through because he's sometimes creating sparks outside. Sometimes that happens. And that is someone that just doesn't know how to work their own system, their own energy system. And so they sometimes spark energy around them because they haven't fully controlled all of that energy. Because sometimes many beings have a lot of force. And it's about balancing out so that you funnel that in the right way down to Gaia, so that you are using that energy correctly. Don't leak it out to anything or anyone. That's what we have to stop and rein it in, rein it in, rein it in. And it's not just about the meditation, you know? Like you're sitting in meditation and practicing thinking about nothing. At some point, you will receive a thought. And that could be from us. Just pay attention to the flavor. And for that, you have to feel the body. You have to be closer in the body. And there is practice to all of this. I'm just laughing in advance for my body wanted coconut. And it might take a while to get used to, because we are used to operating our bodies the way that we are used to it being from the past, and how that is meant, you know? We are inviting you to think very differently about your energy structures and to maneuver them differently so that you are centered from within first. There is a training for that. It is needed. We keep saying it. But that is it. There is training. And for that is why we came through with these 28 days of consciousness shift that you can sign up by clicking on the link in the description or in the bio. That's also the reason why we came through with the Course in Miracles, because that book is also it's the unlearning and unkink. You don't have to comprehend everything, but it is aligning your frequency. The more that you can focus on that, comprehend it, try and comprehend it to the best of your ability, that is the practice. It's about getting the comprehension. There is a comprehension, and it can be comprehended in a different level of frequency. That's why, from the dualistic perspective, that just seems like a bunch of words. Right? It is a calibration tool to the holistic perspective. That is what A Course in Miracles is. It is a calibration tool. Even if you don't comprehend it at first, you will eventually. Sometimes it can take years to fully comprehend. Some beings have still not comprehended even reading it for multiple years. Because sometimes the mind can have certain ideas about what things are and then superimposes it on top of it. It is an alignment. It is an inside-out job. It is not to be confused with a mind, not mind control, but like another mind ego perception completely, you know? It is a correction device for the mind to receive your energy correctly. And there is a calibration to that. If you watch the news every day, you're not in that frequency. If you are commingling with people in the dualistic perspective, you're not in that frequency. You can have different awarenesses and be in that frequency, but your body is still in that frequency because your body is there. You haven't created space in your space yet. You have to inject you into this experience. Who are you? What do you want to do here? You know? That's important questions, because if you are just doing whatever you're taught is available, that's creations that are of other people, and which is fine, but it's important to choose to value bringing you through, because when you bring you through, everything else falls into place. You don't have to go through all of this dualistic drama anymore, because once you see it, you go, oh, okay, that's dualism. Well, that person is still operating in dualism, and if I enter into that, I will have to deal with that. These energies, they are not something that, if you fully want to break free of them, they're not something that you just stop speaking about and you can still be friends with your old friends. It is something that requires you to change who you are as a person. Not because you need to be different, but because in order to land who you are and not what you've been trained yourself to be, but in order to land who you are, you need to have the right perception. If you have screwy perceptions about anything, that is not going to come through. You are not going to come through properly. And so our injections in the comment sometimes with certain people receive it as a blessing, because that is what it is. It is a blessing in your growth. If this being has brought through something specifically for your soul, just be grateful. It is a specific remedy then for you to move up in frequency, which is very valuable for your soul's evolution and land here to actually operate your human body in harmony. You knowing your own energy, you knowing what's what here in your space, and you injecting who you are here. Don't listen to any other thoughts. Take control over your spaceship. Don't let yourself be influenced by this one or that one or this thought and that thought. Disengage from the things that are not pleasing to you. And get really real with yourself. Like, what do you truly want? What type of people do you really want in your life? Are you reading your environment properly? Because your environment and the beings that you're with and how you inject yourself as a soul has everything to do with your spiritual growth as a conscious human. Everything. Just checking out. Is anything happening? I think we're so focused there. We want you to comprehend what's going on here and how energy works and how this platform is of great support to your growth. So that is why we're explaining these things. This is what you are So delicious, huh? So, such an orchestra of sounds this air. It's such a uplifting frequency, all of this. Alright, my dears, this is what we wanted to share for this one. We highly recommend that you continue on your 28 days of consciousness shift. Keep going. Start to alter your behavior to let more light through, so that you can land who you are here, so that you are actually doing your work. That is exactly why you came here, is to do this work, to fully land who you are. Thank you so much. We love you. Take care. You're doing wonderful. Keep going. It is magical times. Making these shifts has never been easier. These times and the frequencies that are uplifting the planet in the galaxy is so supportive of these shifts. Make sure that you're properly plugged in. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao.